Alright, so if you guys checked out my video about Doom Tower updates or the 3.0 update, you realize that I made one video for Doom Tower stuff. It was running too long, so I decided I'm just going to make a separate one for the Christmas update that's coming. So that is what this video is. You know, grab a snack. I'm sure this one's going to be maybe a little bit shorter just because Doom Tower had a lot to go through. I'd imagine the Christmas update's not going to be as big. But let's go ahead and just jump right into it because who knows how long this video is going to be. All right, so the new champion that it looks like the fusion is going to be. I was specifically hoping for a dwarf, but it looks like it's going to be a high elf named Pyxniel. Pyxniel? But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into the kit. So it's a magic affinity support type high elf. A1, Mistress of Glamours. Attack one enemy has a 30% chance of placing a Veil buff on a random ally. Cannot place the Veil buff on this champion. Okay, nothing, write home about. Veil is okay to protect some champions, but because it's a random champion, you don't even know which one you're protecting. So, I mean, kind of cool though. It's A1, so she'll be using it a lot. Um, A2, Grip of Winter. Places a 60% increased defense debuff and a continuous 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies under a freeze debuff. Places a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns on all enemies under freeze. Okay, so I like the very first effect. The very first effect's cool. You're getting increased defense and continuous heal, very support like it should be. The weaken will be really cool if you can get some synergy with freezing. I'd imagine her kit freezes. It looks like her A3. Let's go ahead and just jump into the A3. But obviously, if you have some other freeze champs like Gurgo and stuff like that, this could synergize well and place the weaken debuff on those champions. But Icicle Barrage is her A3, attacks 5 times at random. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a freeze debuff. Okay, so you're pretty much wanting to Icicle Barrage into the Grip of Winter. Um, I wish the freeze lasted maybe more, but it is a freeze. It's pretty strong debuff, so I understand why it's on 1 turn. Has a 100% chance of placing a freeze debuff on enemies that receive 2 hits. So because this is at random, it can hit one of the targets again, and that at that point it will definitely do a freeze. So that's pretty cool. At least it's giving you a chance that it might just 100% freeze. I'd imagine the booking of this ability might bump this up to maybe a 50% chance, because this is 100%, so 50-50 to 100. That's my guess though. But pretty cool kit. And then her passive is Frostweaver. Whenever an enemy places a freeze debuff on an ally, has a 20% chance of stealing the freeze debuff and placing it on this champion instead. Okay, so gonna protect from freezing to herself, and then has a 25% chance of filling this champion's turn meter by 25% every time they receive a freeze debuff. So even though this person, so if Pyxniel takes a freeze from someone, it is a possibility that if it's supposed to freeze someone else, it could refreeze her and she gets turn meter every single time, which means her turn's going to come back up and it's going to almost be like she's not frozen, which is a unique kind of cool ability. Has a 35% chance of removing any freeze debuff from this champion at the start of every turn. Okay, so that's even better. So you might even just get your turn anyway because you have a chance to just remove the freeze. Um, so it's either you're going to collect a lot of freezes and get your turn quicker and you're just going to drop the debuff, or you're going to have a chance to just remove it before your turn starts. Really cool. And then if there are multiple champions in the team with the skill, only one will activate. So I'd imagine, I guess maybe if you're running multiple Pyxniels, I don't see anyone that would have this exact thing. So that's interesting. I don't know why they would put that in there, but really cool passive, very niche. I feel like it could be cool for the Frost Spider boss and Doom Tower, or maybe PvP if you want to specifically target Frost Champ type comps, but yeah, I mean the kit seems cool. And definitely like the grip of winter decreased or the increased defense and continuous heal is really cool. If you pair her with like Gurgo, you can get the weaken on there as well. So yeah, very unique kit. Not what I was expecting, I guess. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the second champion, Yakarl the Scourge. So a Void Legendary. So this is the second Void Legendary they're adding. Barbarian. So in addition to Ursaga. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. A1, Axe of All Winter. Attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Will ignore shield buffs if there are 1 or more enemies under freeze. Will also ignore block damage buffs if there are 2 or more enemies under freeze, and will ignore 30% of target's defense if there are 3 or more enemies under freeze. Alright, so freeze might become a thing just because there's so many champions being added with in addition to freeze effect type things. So not sure if I like that or not, but hey, who knows? Not that bad. He is an attack type champion, so he's meant to do the damage, ignore shield stuff. Once again, if you put him in something like with Gurgo, you might be able to just burst down people. Could be cool, kind of cool. Blizzard Ride is his A2. Attack one enemy has a 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 3 turns. Yeah, 3-turn decreased speed debuff. That's pretty big. And a 75% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Okay, so looking at those numbers, probably booking up to 100%. And then also steals 100% of the target's turn meter and places the 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 3 turns. That's actually pretty cool. So you're going to do a decreased speed and a freeze, and you're going to take their turn meters, so it's going to take them longer to even get to their turn to unfreeze, and you're going to give yourself a increased speed buff. That is an ability. It is a single target, so depending on who you want to hit, I guess for PvP, single someone out. For specific waves, maybe in Doom Tower, you can target specific champions. Like for faction war specifically, like if you're having a hard time with like Valkyries and stuff like that, this would work perfect. So A3 Glaciate. I'm gonna go with that. Glaciate. Attack one enemy 3 times. If the target is under a freeze debuff, remove the debuff after attacking and place it on all enemies, except the initial target. Will also attack all enemies except the initial target after the 3rd hit. Okay, so you're going to attack 3 times. You're going to target the frozen champion. So you're going to go from Blizzard Rider. You're going to decrease that person's turn meter. You're going to freeze them. You're going to give yourself speed. Next round, you're going to glaciate, hit that enemy 3 times. But you're going to unfreeze that champion and freeze everyone else. Big synergy with some other people. And then you're also going to hit all the enemies after that. So technically, you're hitting the main target 3 times, and then you're doing an AoE hit on everyone else. That's a really cool ability, actually. I like that. These kits are very cool. I like them a lot. Lord of Ice is his passive effect. Decrease the damage of this champion receives by 10% and increase the damage this champion inflicts by 10% if there are 1 or more enemies under freeze, which there should always be. It seems like you're going to have to run a freeze comp with him just because he only really freezes 1 target and then freezes multiple targets, so you're not really going to get the Lord of Ice effect otherwise. Increase this champion's speed by 15 and resistance by 50 if there are 2 or more enemies under freeze. So that's really good. And then has an activate effect of places an unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns whenever there are 3 enemies under freeze. And then, okay, very first aura that I've seen for a Doom Tower, 43% attack for allies in Doom Tower. So it looks like this is the very specific Doom Tower champion. I'd imagine there are going to be boss fights and floors that are specifically going to be looking to get frozen. and he seems like he's going to do a great job. So yeah, overall, I think Yakarl is going to be an awesome champion. His aura is very unique to Doom Tower, but his kit honestly synergizes with any of the Frozen champs, like Jingle Hunter, Gergo. I think Shiramani is the one that freezes. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Looks really cool. Next one is an epic Force Support Demon Spawn. I don't even know what that is. I, you guys tell me what that is, but let's go ahead and jump into it. A1, Devour All Hope. Attack one enemy has a 30% chance of decreasing the duration of one random buff if the target is under an HP burn debuff. Also has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15% if they are under a freeze debuff. See, the only thing I don't like about a lot of these, like, these are okay. These were very specific to freeze. It makes sense. Christmas. There's a decent amount of freeze champions. This is asking, I feel like, too much. It looks like this is gonna. Okay, let me read the whole kit because I don't like too many dependencies on abilities. But yeah, so this is depending on HP burn and a freeze in order to get the maximum effect of A1. A2 Cannibal Might. Place a block debuffs buff on all allies for one turn and a 25% strengthen buff on all allies. They are wanting more strengthen in the game, it looks like, which I'm not against. Seems like a cool, like, I like strengthen. The block debuffs is going to be nice, so I like that. Frostfire Gale. Attack all enemies, has a 70% chance of placing a freeze debuff for one turn on all enemies whose attack is higher than their defense. See, and these are the things I don't like. Has a 70% chance of placing HP burn debuff for one turn on enemies whose defense is equal to or higher than their attack. The reason I don't like these effects is they're gonna come in very niche areas. Like the whole attack is higher than defense, defense is higher than attack, you get this effect, get that effect. There's like too many modifiers, I feel like, in order to get maximize a champion. This could just be me though. Like if you guys, are thinking I'm being too critical on this effect, let me know. I just don't like, the moon has to align with, or all the planets have to align in order to get these maximum effects of things. I just don't like those abilities. Twisted Hunger is its passive, heals all allies by 5% of their max HP every time an enemy is under an HP burn. Debuff gets a turn. When they get a turn, I guess. It heals all allies. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 10% every time an enemy under a freeze debuff gets a turn. Yeah, I check the Windurin. Definitely not my favorite champion. I feel like there's going to be too many things needed to maximize its kit. Um, I'd imagine people are going to find ways to maximize the kit, and that's going to be a really cool thing to see. But yeah, I think there's just too many things required in order to get stuff off. And I mean, people might just choose to do one or the other. And I mean, he does have a chance to apply it himself, so who knows? All right, let's go on to the last epic. It looks like Grunch Killjoy. So the Grinch, that's pretty cool. Didn't think it was going to be Ogren tribe, but all right. Force Affinity Support Type Champion for Ogren. A1 Mace of Foulness. Attack one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a block buffs debuff. Never a bad thing. A1, I don't see an issue with it. Kindled Soulfire is A2. Attack all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a bomb debuff that detonates after one turn. Bombs are just not in a good place, but detonating after one turn is pretty cool. Most bombs are like 3 turns or something like that. So, like sometimes you die before the bomb goes off. It being a 1 turn could be kind of cool. A3 Hex Eater removes all debuffs from all allies, then places one 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn on each ally for every debuff removed from them. I mean, it's nice to have a cleanser, and you're gonna put continuous heals per debuff removed. So, very cool ability. It is a 6 turn cooldown though, which is pretty big. Um, I highly doubt it's gonna be booked down to 4. I'd imagine maybe a 5. Um, I like the cleansing abilities. I just the cooldown's big, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Madcap is its passive, fills the turn meter of all allies by 10% whenever a bomb debuff detonates. Um, I mean, could be cool because the Kindled Soulfire does hit all enemies. And it only takes 1 turn to go off on all enemies, so could possibly be decent to fill turn meters of allies, but bombs, just like I said, aren't in a great place. Unless people can come up with some cool bomb comps, or maybe bomb comps is going to be something in Doom Tower. Who knows? Or maybe it can make a comeback in PvP. I was never around for that era, so we'll see. And then the aura, increase all allied defense in faction wars by 30%. Um, Another faction war thing, not bad. I could definitely see this be used in faction wars. Just because of the bomb mechanic, it could be kind of cool. And the Hex Eater is a very useful ability. So, all right, Artifact Rebalance. So, we've updated 8 underperforming artifacts to ensure you have more gearing options for your champions. No matter whether you're a new player making do with limited champion collections or veterans seeking strategies. All right, so let's see what they did. So retaliation, it looks like they just upped the percentage from 25% to 35%. Don't think it's worth it still. I retaliation set's not terrible, but I don't know. Upping the percentage, I don't think is going to do anything for it. Regeneration, uh, they upped the percentage from a 10% heal to a 15% heal every turn. I'm hoping they didn't just add percentages to everything. Okay, poison, 75% from a 50% chance, but it's still a 2.5 poison, and it's still a 4 set. So, what I was hoping was that they're going to reduce some of these sets. So, Retaliation set, I think, is okay with being a 4 set. Like, this is probably an okay change. But when you look at Regeneration, like, you have Immortal, that pretty much just does the same thing. And it's a 2 set. This is still a 4 set. It's, I think, now on par with Immortal, I believe. I actually don't know exactly. Um, Toxic, 4 set. To get a 2.5 poison. At the very least, they could have bumped this poison up to 5% and made it 4 set. I think, if anything, they should have just made it a 2 set, 75% chance, 2.5. But making it a 4 set, 75%, 2.5, like, at least bumped us up to 5%. Like, I don't. That, I think Toxic set's just gonna sit there in the vault still. Reflex set, 40% up from 30% chance to reduce. The reflex set was very unique in certain champions. Upping its chance isn't a bad thing, I guess. It's more, I guess, a little bit of a buff. But the reason why this set's not used is it's just not used on a lot of champions, because you pretty much just want a champion with 2 abilities. So it's always taking 1 off cooldown, and then you have your A1. Something like Bad L will benefit from this. So, um, a nice change, but nothing major. Avenging set, yeah, they're just upping percentages, and I don't think that is what is needed. Um, this is pretty much just a worse version of the retaliation set. So, Destroyer, this is going to have uses against a specific boss in Doom Tower. They upped the max HP by 40% instead of 30%. Once again, I think more had to be done to it, but I guess it's a nice change. Cursed, they upped the percentage from 50% to 75% to land the heal reduction. Yeah, they needed to do a lot more than just up percentages, in my opinion. Curing set, a 4 set for 20%. It's, I mean, no one uses curing set as it is, at least that I know. And a lot of it is because it's a force. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like these changes. I think they could have definitely done more. I think they needed to reduce some of these sets, like the toxic set needed to go down to 2%, or at the very least go up to 5% poison. Avenging set needed, I think, a rework just because it's just a worse version than retaliation. You have to get critically hit to get the counterattack. Um, so yeah, not too happy with the artifact changes. And then it looks like miscellaneous Christmas decoration returned to Bastion, meet the holiday season in style, and many faction war stages went through balance tweaks and should be easier to complete. This is already in effect. Okay. Yeah, so that is the Christmas changes. The champions look pretty cool. Not sure about this Wenderin guy. I do like Yakarl and Pyxniel. Pyxniel. Sorry, guys. And even Grunch seems kind of cool. He just looks like he has too many dependencies. I do not like these artifact rebalances. Unfortunately, I was really hoping that they were going to do more with this, but it looks like they kind of took the easy way out with just upping percentages. I don't think that's going to make anyone want to try these sets more. I really don't. But let me know what you guys think. This video is going to be long as well, so I'm sorry for the long videos, guys. But this update had a lot of stuff going on with it. If you're checking out this video before my other one, please check out the other one. I go over the Doom Tower stuff. Some of the champions that are going to be specific to Doom Tower that you can pretty much just earn fragments for. These were the champions for the Christmas update that's coming. This is going to be a traditional fusion. Yeah, it's going to be a traditional fusion. Not sure if when they're going to release the champions that go into the traditional fusion, but these champions are also going to be included when the update goes live. So that's going to be pretty cool to see. The Like I said, artifact rebalance, nothing big. Let me know what you guys think about it, though. Maybe you guys have a different outlook on it. Um, Let me know what your favorite champion is that you saw in the Christmas update. Also, in the other video, let me know what your favorite Doom Tower champion is. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. Also, I'm starting this new content creator thing, and so let me know what you guys want to see: champion guides or in-depth things. I might be doing a account overview to show you guys what my account has on it. I've only been playing for about 3 months now, I believe. I think I just went over 3 months. So yeah, we'll just take an overview of my account and show you guys what I've accomplished so far and all that. But yeah, let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. See you guys.